you for joining me for another episode of Throwback Thursday. So, typically on Throwback Thursdays, I pull out my retired stash and I would create two projects with it. For the month of December, I'm doing something a little bit different. So I have plenty of product between let's see, there's between July and the September online exclusives, and then also the holiday mini catalog, which goes from September through December. And so, in um, a quest to actually use as much of the product as possible, I have modified my Throwback Thursdays to use some product that's actually still current. Now, it may turn out that these products also are currently on the last chance list as of the beginning of this month. There could be a couple of things that are already currently unavailable. As I come to all of that, then I will let you know what the status of it is. So, for this episode, I am using the A Little Cheer bundle. So, this came out in our July online exclusives. This came with the photopolymer stamp set. So you have some cute little like a stocking, a star, and a tree image that you can not only stamp, but then you can stamp and you can also punch out, or you can just punch them out by themselves. You got some gifts, you got a snowflake and a leaf, and then you got this little bow and a string that you can hang your little stamped images from, or punched out images. And then you got sending a little cheer, Christmas time is here, happy Merry Christmas. And then there's a to and a from as well. So for this bundle, I know there's like a glare on it from my light. So at the time of me recording this, I am actually recording it the Wednesday evening. So last night. So what was it? The 10th of December. Currently in our online store, uh, it does offer the bundle. Now, the bundle that I will tell you that the price of that is $36. However, if you purchase the stamp set and the set of punches separately, there is significant savings right there. So the stamp set, it was regularly $17. It is now marked down to $11.90. And then a little cheer mini punch pack. The regular price of this was 23 and it is now marked down to $13.80. So it is a savings. What would that be, like 24, 25, less than $26. So about $10 less than what the bundle price would be. So in the description of the video, the list of supplies that I have there, I do have the stamp set and the punch pack listed separately. If this is a bundle that you would like to get at a discount, also I will I can't talk. This happens every time I start recording. One of the things that I do want to make you aware of, this started uh, to not today, it would be the 10th. So Wednesday the 10th, Stampin' Up! Has a 3-day only free shipping promotion. The free shipping is going to apply on orders of $75 or more. So the $75 is after you have you've applied any Stampin' Rewards or any coupon codes that you may have, and also before the tax is added. Now, if you add stuff to your cart and you you know you don't realize that when you applied Stampin' Rewards that it kind of brought the amount down, you will know when you go to check out, you will see that shipping actually applied to the order. So just remember $75 after you have applied any Stampin' Rewards or coupon codes, and also before the taxes apply to it. And you can, what applies to this is basically, um, I think is it no, it's not on the paper pumpkins. Hold on, my thing just kind of closed down on me. Hold on one moment here. Okay, I think I got everything. Yeah, so I think like the prepaids I don't think of the paper pumpkin don't apply to this because the shipping is already included in the price of those paper pumpkins. Now, the free shipping, $75 or more. There's another option that you can also choose to go along with this. So, Stampin' Up is no longer going to do their celebration rewards at the beginning of the year. When we were doing this, it was for every $50 or $100. And then I think even earlier this year, it became $75. You were able to choose a free product out of the celebration brochure. And celebration usually just lasted 2 months. So when they took that away, they brought in product of the month. So the way product of the month it works is when you place an order that's $75 or more, which is what you would need for the free shipping, you can add on the product of the month for just $5. Now, the product of the month, it's limited to only one per customer or demonstrator. So, if you place multiple orders in a month, that's $75 or more. You wouldn't be able to choose the product of the month for each of those orders. It would just be for the one order. And so for this month, it is the True Blues. Let me make sure I say the right name. True Blues. Um, yeah, hold on. It's not showing me. Yes, there it is. True Blue Florals. So this is the paper. It's 12 by 12. The colors are Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. So in some of the designs, it is kind of a variation of that color, but very pretty paper. So you got some florals and yeah, that's what it mostly looks like, florals, and you got your leaves and some pretty patterns in this paper. So this is the product of the month for the month of December. And again, if your order is $75, now this is in one order, not in multiple orders during a month. um, One order at least $75, and that is after you've applied any Stampin' Rewards or any coupon codes, and also before the tax and the shipping is added onto it. And then you can purchase that product of the month for $5. Now again, it's only limited to one per account. You do need to have a Stampin' Up account created in order to participate in this. Um, let's see. Once you do reach that qualifying amount, there will be a box up at the top of your screen that will let you know that you had reached that threshold to add on your product of the month. So you do need to add it to your order. It's not automatically going to add it. I did read somewhere that if you placed an order to where you earn the where you could redeem the product of the month. If you miss adding it, unfortunately, Stampin' Up cannot go and add this then to the order. So if you want that product of the month, you got to remember just to click on that button up at the top of the screen once it lets you know that you have qualified to purchase this, and you got to click on that button to add it to your order. Um, like I said, it's limited to one to one account per month. So in December, again, it's this designer series paper. If you had gotten this, then come February, when no, January, when we have a new product of the month, then you can purchase that product. So it's always going to change. We don't have any heads up as to what the product's going to be in advance. So it's kind of like a surprise. Now, there's not like a set day in which they um, let us know when we got the new product of the month. Typically, it's going to happen near the beginning of the month. Let's see. And the products themselves, they are limited, so they are while supplies last. Let's see, anything else? Um, yeah, so once they're sold out, then they're gone for good. Any of the products, they're not going to end up in any paper publications. They're not going to end up in the last chance list. So basically, once they sell out, they sell out. So while if you're taking advantage of the free shipping, go ahead and for $5 more, go ahead and add on the True Blue Florals 12 by 12 designer series paper for $5 more. So the free shipping, this will end on Friday, December 12th at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. Stampin' Up has mentioned that any orders that are placed during this promotion are not guaranteed to arrive before or by December 25th. So they are going to do the best that they can, but usually when they have promotions like this, the order volume is pretty high. So it it takes a couple of days to get caught up to get everything out. So that was just a little disclaimer that they had, that it's not guaranteed that you would get it before or by Christmas. All right, so let me now go back to my video and let's see, make sure that I got everything set up. Okay, hold on. My thing is acting all wonky. While you're here, if you could, please give the video a thumbs up. If you want to wait till the end, that excuse me, that is fine. Also, if I can't speak, I'm sorry. This happens every single time. Um, I have lots of video content on this channel. I have it broken down by Throwback Thursday, Friday Night Lives, which Friday the 12th at 7 p.m. I will be going live. I will be using the Elegant Pine Snowflakes suite of products. Um, and yeah, so I have my videos kind of like in playlists. So there are a total of 319 videos, including this one out there. So if you like what you see, please subscribe. It not only helps me in growing this channel, but it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up business as well. Um, yeah, so the more like likes and views on a video, shares, that kind of stuff, what it does, YouTube sees that. They see that people are liking the content, and then they share it out there with other people who enjoy doing paper crafting. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's get the party started. All right, let me get my measurements here. So again, this bundle is currently on the last chance list, and there is at least like a $10 savings when you purchase it singly instead of as a bundle, where it would be 10% off. Those, like I said, in the description, I did link both products individually, so then that way you can get that savings. All right, so for my card base, I have a piece of Melon Mambo. This measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of Granny Apple Green that measures 5.25 by 4. Pretty in Pink, 5 by 3.75. And then a piece of Basic White that measures 4.75 by 3.5. So let me bring in a piece of, I don't think I need scrap paper, but I do want my piercing mat, because I'm just making sure that my camera doesn't do a lot of focusing in and out. Because this is a photopolymer stamp set, it doesn't have that foam cushion like the red rubber stamps have. And yeah, so this will help in getting a better stamped image. All right, so what I want to do is I want to bring in the string piece here, and I'm going to bring in my tuxedo black ink. So this is not the packaging that the tuxedo black ink comes in. This is one of our uninked white craft ink pads. When you get the white ink, the ink pad is uninked. You get a re-inker with it, and then you would add your ink to your pad. So what I have done is I've taken my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, re-inker, and I just inked up this ink pad. And I find that my images that I stamp with it stamp a lot, almost like the way Stays On ink stamps, a very nice dark black. So I'm going to stamp a few of these strings around, kind of going down a piece of cardstock here. And we'll put another one right here. Okay. And then we're going to need it again there's a little bow that we can put over our images. So let me bring in my blocks, and let's bring in our stamps. So we got the tree already mounted, so I want my star, and then I also want my stocking as well. And then we got a greeting that says Christmas time is here, so we'll put that on a block as well. Okay, let me get a block. I'll put that on there like so. All right, so let me close this up first. So the ink colors that I'm going to use on this, other than black, is Pretty in Pink, Granny Apple Green, and Melon Mambo. So let me take my Melon Mambo and my greeting. Let's ink that up. And I'm going to stamp that right up here on the right hand side. Okay, and then our stockings are going to be in Melon Mambo. And then our stars are going to be in Granny Apple Green. And then our trees are going to be pretty in pink. So hopefully I don't put the wrong stamp in there. Let's see, stocking is going to be here. And then the tree was going to be that. Okay, so let me start off with my stocking. Trying to, so I want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing and I'm not out of the camera view. All right, so the stocking is Melon Mambo, so I'm going to add one over here and another one on this end. And then I want the tree. We'll add the tree right here in the middle. And let's see. And another tree over here. Didn't leave a lot of room in between, but it'll still work. Okay, the stocking. We're going to put another one over here. All right, star. Put one right there. Another one right here. Now this card, this is a case off of one that I saw on Pinterest. Offhand, I can't remember who it was that did it, so I apologize for that. All right, so we'll add a star over here. Put one there. And let's see. Stocking. Put that right there. Here. And let's get our tree. All right, I think I have, yep, we got all of these stamps. So let me go ahead and close all these so we don't have an inky mess. All right, and then I'm going to bring in my black ink again. Okay, and then this little bow, I'm going to come right above here, and I'm going to add a bow to all of my images here. This is what's holding them up on the string. Okay, and our last one right there. Okay. Now let's close this up, and now all we have to do is just assemble our card and then add some bling onto it. So let me fold and burnish my card base. Make sure that it is even. Okay. I got a nice bruise on top of my hand. Somehow I banged my hand on something. Don't know when, but yeah, that's going to look ugly before it gets better. All right, so now I'm going to take my Pretty in Pink and I'm going to adhere this to my Granny Apple Green piece. So there's like an even border on all of these layers. Okay, and then we'll take this and we'll adhere this to make sure my adhesive stays on its roller. Put that on top of the card base. And this didn't fold right. Okay, so we'll center that. Okay, and then we'll take this piece and we'll adhere it to the top of all of those layers. Like so. Okay, so now for our bling, I'm going to bring in, these are the traditional sparkling sequins. These go to the Traditions of Christmas suite of products. So in these glittered sequins, we have Real Red, Granny Apple Green, Pool Party, and Gold. So I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green ones. And there's 3 different sizes of these. And what's nice about these, they're nice and flat. So when it comes to mailing your card, you're not going to need any extra postage for this. And that, and then we'll add another one right up here. I could have stamped this up a little bit higher. Okay. So let me get that out of the way. Kind of find a place to put things. Kind of getting closed in a little bit. So there is our first card. So I really like this color combination. This is kind of like your non-traditional Christmas colors, but it has a really nice whimsical feel to it. So there is card number 1. Okay, so let me bring in card number 2. Now this card, I will say that this is a case off of a card that Erica Serwin recently did. So she's doing a 12 days of Christmas countdown. She made this card in all red, and I'm changing it up just a little bit from what she did. Other than the color, she had used the star on this. I'm actually using the Christmas tree. So before I do anything else, let me quickly clean these stamps, because I'm going to need some of these again. Okay, I need that one. And then my greeting. All right. Now I need my tree. I'm going to need the bow, and I'm going to need that string. And all of this is going to be stamped in shaded spruce ink. So for my card base, I have shaded spruce 8.5 by 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Out of a scrap piece, I had die cut the textured notes dies. Now, so these are not on the last chance list, but the stamp set that was bundled with this is on the last chance. But these are still available and they're not going anywhere, at least not yet. So these rectangles have all these little different like stitched designs in them. This is the one. This is the one that I have used. So the one kind of like with this little zigzag type pattern in it. So again, these are still in the online exclusives in the Stampin' Up store. Wow, I can't get words out. So I die cut that out of shaded spruce. Out of those same set of dies, I die cut a piece out of basic white, and then on a scrap strip of shaded spruce, I stamped 5 of the trees using Versamark ink, and then I heat embossed using clear embossing powder. So now they're a little bit darker and they have like a shine to them. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out the Merry and Christmas. So I got that right over here. And I need my Pierce mat again. So we'll go and stamp our greeting. We're a little bit crooked here. All right, so I'm going to start off with Christmas. And I'm going to stamp that over to the right. And then Merry. So she used a different die for her greeting. And then she had stamped it saying Merry, Merry Christmas. Okay, so we got that. I'll set that aside. And then on our shaded spruce piece, let me bring in a piece of scrap. And let me get the string. Oh, no, we could do this first. Okay, so I'm going to add some strings. Move up a little bit. And then we'll add one more. Like so. Okay, then I'm going to take my tree and I'm going to stamp 3 of them. I'm trying not to stick my finger in the ink. Okay, and then we're going to add one more down over in this corner. All right, so we got that. Now I'm going to come in with the bow. Again, just using shaded spruce ink. And why didn't that stamp very well? See if I can fix that. It looks a little bit better. And so on her card, everything is real red. And she used the star. And I figured, let me change it up a little bit. I'm using the trees, and I went with the green. Okay, and then we got one more down here. Okay. And oh, one more thing that we want to do. So I'm going to do some ink blending around this. So I got one of our small blending brushes. I don't have my blending brushes, one for each color. I do have it for color family. So this is my darker green. And I'm going to add some around the edges. So Christmas is approaching very quickly. I am really surprised with myself that I don't already have my place all decorated. This past Monday, I did pull out my decorations from my storage closet. I did get the tree put up, however, it needs to be shaped, it needs the lights on it, and it needs all of the ornaments. I did have to rearrange the furniture in my living room in order to do this, but I got the stuff in. Now it's just a matter of doing the decorating. So I'm kind of hoping that this weekend I got that done, and there's a bunch of other things that I also have to do. This is the problem. I love Christmas so much, but the problem is it just comes and goes so fast. And I just wish time would slow down a little bit. I mean, this whole year seems like it has gone really fast. So have you guys gotten your Christmas decorating done? Um, Christmas cards. Well, I found a whole bunch of, while I was going through all my cards, I found a whole bunch that I have made over the years. So I don't think I need to make any. So between that and the cards I've been doing, this, well, since what? Around Thanksgiving? Around at some point in November and now in December. I do have quite a stash that's kind of added up. Um, kind of moving this stuff out of the way because I'm going to do a little bit of spritzing with my Stella, and I don't want everything to get splattered with it. So I'll put that down, and I do have another one. So I do have a lot of cards, plus I do have postage. I did order some postage off of the postal, the USPS website, not UPS. And yeah, so I'm supposed to have that on Friday, so I can get that done too. So it's a lot of stuff to get done in very little time, and I just wish time would just slow down a little bit. Except for the workday. The workday, that can go as fast as, that can go fast. I just need the time to, get things done. And plus I would love to do some baking. It's usually the only time of the year that I really do any baking. Okay, so my Wink Stella, I have some right there on the brush, so there's plenty there. And I am going to tap, and actually let me squeeze a little bit. Now you don't want to squeeze this over the top of your project. Just want to get some down in that brush. So I can try and get some big splatters on here. Okay. Looks like we got some good splatters. Okay, put that aside. And I'm going to need that again. So let me take this off of here so you can see got some splatters on there. Kind of like the way this is coming together. So let's fold this all up so we don't get it all over the place. All right, so I'm going to take my card base, we'll fold and burnish this. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to pop this up. So I'm going to bring in my dimensionals now. Because shaded spruce is a dark color, I'm going to use my black dimensionals. So the black dimensionals come in a combo pack with the large and the small size. And in the white, they're separate packages. So you have a whole package of the small ones and then a whole package of the large. And the black ones are really good for your dark colored cardstocks, because even the sides, they're dark, so you're not going to see the white when you look at it from the side. I mean, you're not really going to see it if you're looking at the front of the card, but got to give the black dimensional some love too, because if we don't and they don't sell, then Stampin' Up! Could end up retiring them, and we don't want them retired. We want to keep the black dimensionals. Okay, so now I am going to center this. I noticed when I took the picture for my thumbnail, it wasn't very straight. So we want to try and get this on here straight. Okay, I'll press that down. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in my tree punch and this strip of these trees that I heat embossed with the clear embossing powder. Again, I stamped these using Versamark ink and then heat embossed using the clear embossing powder. Now, a little trick when you're heat embossing the clear embossing powder, you don't want to keep the heat on it for very, very long, because what it's going to do is actually burn the embossing powder, and it's not really going to be shiny. So just a little tip. When I heat emboss, I like to come from underneath the cardstock and then just hold it at a distance, so then that way it doesn't burn. Okay, so now for these, I am going to take my small dimensionals that are black, and I'm going to add them to these little trees. Make sure I put them. Now when you stamp the image is going to be a little bit bigger than the punch, so when you go to punch it out, it's not going to leave a border around it. So if you were stamping this on white cardstock, you wouldn't have that white border around that stamped image. So they're going to be a little bit smaller than what is on the card itself. Okay, so let's randomly add these. I'll add this one there. And then we'll add another one up here. All right. Add one right down here. Let's see, we'll put one right up here. Now let me see my greeting piece here. Okay, so I can add my other one right down here, and I'll kind of put that greeting in between. Whoops, I don't know where that little paper backing flew off to, but not in my little pop-up trash bin. Okay, so we'll add that one right there. And then for my greeting piece, I'm going to use my white dimensionals on this one. And I'm going to leave that center open because I'm going to bring in the black and white and gold baker's twine. So this is part of the Modern Christmas suite. And this is the suite that I used last Saturday. So I didn't have a Friday night live because I had a prior engagement to go to, and plus I didn't get a chance to get it pre-recorded ahead of time. So last Saturday I did go live, and this was the suite that I had used. So this twine, it has it's like the gold thread is a little bit thicker. So this twine, it does tie very nice, and this is the white and the gold, and then we also have the black and gold as well. And so these came out in September. It was an online exclusive item. So I want my bows not too big, but I want it big enough. All right, and then I'm going to bring in my glue dots. And let's see. Let's get our bow. All right, and then this is going to go, say, like right here in between. Did I not take my glue dot? Where's my glue dot? Okay, so let's take this and place that right there. And I'll get my scissors. We'll just shorten up these little tails here. Cut. All right. Get that out of the way. Yeah, this twine does tie very, very nicely. All right. Now let's take our backings off of there. And then this will go, kind of tuck this under our punched images. Just fits right in there. So make sure that that's straight. Okay, and then I'm going to embellish this, and keeping with everything being basically shaded spruce. These embellishments are in our annual catalog. These are the shades of green hexagons. These are part of, I think, is the suite name Turtly Awesome, or is it the stamp set in the bundle that's Turtly Awesome? This is in the annual catalog. So you got Shaded Spruce, Pool Party, and is that Lemon Lime Twist or Granny Apple Green? And then there's Soft Sea Foam. So we're going to use our Shaded Spruce ones, and we'll add, there's two different sizes of these. So we will add a few on here like so. Okay, so there is our second card. Again, this is a case off of Erica Serwin's. The only difference is that she has used real red and the star for her image, and she used a different die. And as far as her ribbon went, she had used that red and white baker's twine. So again, I went with the shaded spruce and the trees. So I like how this one turned out. So it's got a lot of little sparkles on here. So there is our second card. So our third card, now this card is actually a case of the card that they have as a sample. If you go to the if you go to the online store and you do a search for a little cheer, this is the card that they have in there as a sample. For this one, I think I just changed it up a tiny bit, and that's going to be with the embellishments. For this one, I added these real red and white adhesive back peppermints. These are definitely a fun embellishment. These are still available. They carried over actually from our holiday mini catalog last year. They were very popular and they kept on selling out a lot, but I'm glad that they kept them. I don't see them on the last chance list, so those are still available. And I'm not seeing that they're on low inventory either. Okay, so for my card base, I have a piece of garden green that measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have used, this is the Regal 6x6 Designer Series paper. This is the pattern that is available in our annual catalog. I have crushed curry, garden green, and real red. Now their sample, they actually use cherry cobbler, so I just changed it up and used the brighter red instead. But yeah, so all the colors in the Regal color family. There's 4 different patterns, 2 sheets of each. So you have stripes on one side, you got flowers on another, and then there's a leaf pattern, and what's the other pattern? Oh, and then there's kind of like this splash type pattern. So you got stripes, you got like this splatter, and then you have leaves, and you have the flowers. So there are color packs of all these patterns in all of the colors. So I got brights and subtles and regals and neutrals, and also the in colors. So these pieces here, they measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then I have 3 pieces of basic white. These measure 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. Now on these, when I made my sample, what I did was I put a little dot with my pencil right there in the middle of each of these, so I know how to line up my punch. I also just wrote a little, um, just what like this will be for the star. No, that's the star, that's the stocking, and then this is going to be the tree. And then I have a scrap strip piece of basic white. This is 3/8 of an inch wide. Okay, so let's fold and burnish our card base. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in, for this project, we're going to use both garden green and real red ink. The real red's going to be for our greeting. So let me get my scrap paper here, and also my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I'm going to pull out the snowflake stamp out of this set. Okay, and let me get a block. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to randomly stamp this on our card base. So I'm going to kind of come at an angle with these. Let's see, up here. Got them all going in like the same direction. Now a lot of this is going to be covered up with that designer series paper. And let's add one right up there. And then we'll have a partial one over here. Okay, and we'll add another partial one right there. Okay, let's close up our ink. All right, then let me bring in, let's see, what do I need my Scotch tape for this? So I'm going to be using this, so the stamp Sending a Little Cheer is all grouped together. So I am going to mask off part of this greeting, so that way I can have my Sending A and then Little and Cheer all as separate pieces. So let me put this on there. Now I'm going to use Scotch tape. And I'm going to mask off a little cheer. Okay, and then let me get my little strip. So this way I can see where I am stamping this. Okay, so let's get our ink. Now I've got to figure out where to put this tape, because once you ink this up, okay, you need to remove the tape. And as you do that, try not to get the ink all over your fingers. And so then I'm going to stamp Sending A right here in the middle. Okay, and then we'll clean off the stamp. That's important. You do need to clean off the stamp, because even though you're going to be masking that top part off, what's going to happen when you take that tape off, you're going to have a shadow of that stamped on the cardstock too, and you don't want, that's what you don't want. You just want the Little and the Cheer. Just cleaning these blocks really quick because there's ink all over them. All right, and then now we'll get another piece of tape, and this time we're gonna mask off Sending A. Okay. All right, so now let's ink this up. I don't want to ink up that whole piece of tape, because I do need to take that tape off. Try and take it off. Okay. And then we'll stamp our Little Cheer. And smudged a little bit, but it'll still work. Like they say, it's handmade, not Hallmark. All right, so now I'm gonna kind of snip these apart. So let me get my scissors. Okay. All right, there's our Sending A. Cheer, and then our Little. All right, so now let's go ahead. All of our stamping is done, so now let's go ahead and assemble our card. Okay, so I am going to take my seal and I'm going to add some to the back. My cellophane wants to come off of the roller and it needs to stay. Okay. All right, so let's get our card base and I take my garden green piece and I'm going to add that right here. Now I'm not going to press these down really hard, not yet. I want to make sure that I have them in the right place. And I'm not really concerned or worried about these being straight. I think if they're kind of like a little crooked, that, of course this paper wants to stick to my hand, that them being a little crooked does add like a little bit of whimsy to it, I feel. And then let's take our yellow or crushed curry. And we'll place that right up there. So kind of like where that's at, I'll press that down. Okay, so let me get my little dimensionals here. And we're going to put some on the back of my greeting piece. I find that the small dimensionals are easier to work with when I use my take your pick tool to pick them up. All right, so we're going to place sending there. Again, I'm not worried about it being straight. And that backing came off before I was ready for it. All right, a little, and then cheer. Okay, so that looks good. Press that down. All right, so now let's get our punches. So this one was our stocking. So when I did the little dot for the center, I based it off of what I punched out already on the stocking. So I'm just kind of lining that dot kind of like in the middle. I want kind of like an equal amount of cardstock on either side, and then go ahead and punch it. And then there is our piece that'll be popped up right there. And then this one is our star. These are really cute little punches. Okay, and we'll kind of center that out, and don't get your finger like mashed in there. That does hurt. All right, and then we have our tree. Okay. All right, so now on the backs of these, I'm going to add my little dimensionals. So I get to take your pick tool, and we'll add these to the back. A little bit. This set would also, there's also a sample in the online store for this bundle where they did what we when we did the string and we have the images stamped on it. They created a gift tag with it, so it's a really cute little set that you can use for making gift tags as well. All right, so let's remove all these backings, and then we'll center them on our designer series paper like so. All right, and then got our stocking. And last but not least, we got our star. And we'll center that like so. And then again, I'm going to use my peppermint embellishments for this. Now these peppermints, there are 3 different sizes of these. And let's see, put one there. And then a small one right up there. Okay, so there is our final card. So this one is a case off um, of the card that they have in the online store under this bundle. So a nice, cute, simple layout. This is definitely a card that you could mass produce if you like to mass produce your Christmas cards. So that's our final card that we've made. Our second card, we just went with the shaded spruce. This is a case off of a card that Erica Serwin did for her 12 Days of Christmas, and it's using this bundle. She did hers in real red. Even her, she used the real red and white baker's twine to do her bow, and she used a different die for her greeting. And her greeting's just a little bit different. She's got Merry Christmas, where I just got Merry Christmas on there. And then I used those green hexagon hues of green hexagons. That's part of that Turtly Cute or Turtly Awesome Sweet, which I did do a Friday night live on that one earlier in the year. So that's out here on the channel. And then our first card, we went with this nice whimsical color theme of Melon Mambo, Granny Apple Green, Pretty in Pink, and then the white. And then there's that little pop of the black with the string and the ribbons on it. And again, this is a case off of a card that another demonstrator had done, but at the moment I don't know what her name is, so I apologize for that. So there are my 3 projects using the A Little Cheer bundle. Again, this bundle is currently on the last chance list, so meaning that it's about to retire, so it's while supplies last. I did list in the description the stamp set and the punch bundle separately because there is a discount on each of the items, and it's actually cheaper um, purchasing them separately than putting in the bundle item number. Again, if you like the projects I made, please give the video a thumbs up. If you like these projects also, and take a check out all the other content that I have. I There's lots out there. This is video number 319, so there is plenty out there. And again, I do have separated playlists. There were holidays, there's Throwback Thursdays, Friday Night Lives. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be right back here in the studio, coming live, and I will be using the Elegant Pine Snowflakes suite of products. So, really, really pretty paper with that. So, if you like snowflakes, that's what's going to be for tomorrow night. Another thing, well, yeah, tomorrow night. I got to remember it's Wednesday night that I'm recording this. The other thing that I do on my Friday night lives, I also do a drawing. I do a wheel of names where you could win one of the cards that I have made that night. As far as cards go, I can send cards anywhere in the world. It's just a Stampin' Up product that I cannot, ship out of the country to anybody. So if you have nothing going on and you would like to join us, we do have a fun bunch that's in the chat, and we got a very lively chat, and we would love to have you join us. So, with that, again, we do just like another reminder, because this is going to be over on Friday, December 12th at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. Any orders, $75 or more. That is with any Stampin' Rewards and any coupon codes already deducted and before the tax is added. You'll know if you have reached that when you go to checkout. If you don't see any shipping added on there, then you know that you had reached that $75 threshold. At the same time, with a $75 or more order, you can also take advantage of the product of the month. This is the True Blue Florals 12 by 12 Designer Series paper, and the product of the month is $5. So if you haven't gotten this paper yet and it looks like something that you would really like, again, that is our product of the month. You do need to have a Stand Up account. The products in the cart do need to total $75 in that one order. The cart's got a total 75. And then you'll know there is a graphic at the top of the screen that will let you know if you have reached that qualifying amount. Remember, you do need to click on it to add it to your cart. It won't automatically add. And again, if you end up placing the order and you didn't add it, Stampin' Up just can't go and add it. If you really want it, then it would have to be another order of $75. And again, every month there will be something new. And again, it'll be a surprise for everyone, because Stampin' Up's not even going to let the demos know ahead of time what it's going to be. And again, even with these, there's no pre-order for demos either. So again, the product of the month is limited to one per person. And so, yeah, so take advantage with as much as you can. I mean, free shipping and a really nice, pretty pack of designer series paper for $5. Why not take advantage of it? Treat yourself for Christmas. So, with that, thank you again for taking the time to stop by and watching. And I hope to see you tomorrow night here when I do my Friday Night Live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I will be featuring the Elegant Pine Snowflakes suite of products. So, until then, everybody, have a blessed one. Bye bye.